So good morning, students. So let us start the session. So last class we discussed about testing of path involving loops. That means you are going to find the path testing in loops. So in this we have four types of loops. So single loop statement, nested loop statements, so concatenated loops and horrible loops. And we discuss about these four types of loops with examples. In today's class, we are going to discuss about predicates. So predicates is nothing but it is going to be decision, and this decision is evaluated to true or false. That means either 0 or 1 or true or false. So what is a path? So what is a path? A path is nothing but a sequence of process links. That means in our previous classes only we discussed that. So this is the one node, this is the another node. So this is the condition. So this is the node 1 to node 2. So this is the condition. So if it is true, this is the false. If it is true, you are going to evaluate another node, and if it is the false, you are going to evaluate another node. Okay, so in this way you are going to draw the flow control diagrams. So path is nothing but a sequence of process links. So this is the path. For example, this is the A node. So this is the node C. So how we can traverse from node A to node C? So from path A to B and B to here you are going to check the condition. If it is true, then you are going to see this is the path. A sequence of process link. All these are the process links. A, B, so C are the process links. Next, so predicate is nothing but the logical function evaluated to a decision. That means if you observe that, so this is the condition here. So this is the predicate. So this evaluated to either true or false. So these are the binary numbers or boolean. So coming to binary 0 and 1. The false is indicating with 0. The true is indicating with 1. And coming to boolean values, these are the true and false. So these are the boolean values. Okay. Next, compound predicate. So compound predicate is nothing but two or more predicates combined with and or. So and or. So these are the logical operators. So these are the logical operators. I hope you all know this. So two or more predicates combined with and or. So or extra we know the XOR also. So for example, say x greater than 10. If you combine this with another predicate s less than 20. So this is one predicate. This is another predicate. Now these two predicates are combined with and logical and. So this we are called as a compound predicate. So this we are called as a compound predicate. Next, path predicate. Every path corresponds to a succession of true or false values for the predicates traversed on that path. So path predicate is nothing but here. So this is the condition. If this path responds on the succession of true or false. If this condition returns true, then the path goes like this. If the condition is false, then path goes to another node. So this we are called as a path predicate. So every path corresponds to a succession of true or false values for the predicates traversed on that path. A predicate associated with a path, so x greater than 0 is true, and so w is either negative or equal to 122. is true. Here, if these two are, so this condition and x greater than 0 is true. If these two conditions are true, here you are going to use this uncondition, then the entire expression will be true. So multi-valued logic and multi-way branch. So this is about path, predicate, compound predicate, path, predicate. So predicate interpretation. The symbolic substitution of operations along the path in order to express the predicates solely in terms of the input vector is called predicate interpretation. So what is predicate interpretation? The predicate interpretation is nothing but the symbolic substitution of operations along the path in order to express the predicate. An input vector is a set of inputs to routine arranged as a dimensional array, one-dimensional array. Here, this is the example. Input x comma y. On x, go to, so this is the A, B, so this is the B, C, this is the C. So what is the labels here? Z equals to 7. Then after this, you are going to execute this H instruction. Z equals to -7, go to X, Z equals to 0 at the rate, so that means go to H. Here, the input is X on X. So based on the X, you are go to A, B, C. Here, input X, X less than 0. This is the predicate. X less than 0. If I enter X equals to -2, then Y equals to 2. Then Y equals to 2. If it is else, then it is predicate. This is the predicate. Y equals to 2. If it is true, if it is false, then you are going to execute Y equals to -1. And if x plus y into y, so greater than 0, then you are going to write another process statement. So this is the predicate interpretation. So predicate interpretation may or may not depend on the path. So that means it may depend on the path. Sometimes it does not depend on the path. Path predicates are the specific form of the predicates of the decisions along the selected path after interpretation. Process dependency. Process dependency. So process dependency is nothing but, so one process depends on any other process, that we are called as a process dependency. So for example, you are going to receive a number from another function. This function result is based on the output of another function. Then the function 2 is depend on function 1. That means the function 1, let us assume. So this is the one process block, let us assume. Okay, so these process blocks return some output to function 2. This is the function 2. Okay, this is the function 2. If function 1 sends output to function 2, now this function 2 treat this output of function 1 as a input. Now, so this process function 2 depends on the function 1. An input value is independent of the processing if its value does not change as a result of processing. So what it means, for example, we take C equals to A. C equals to A. So here the input variable is independent. Here the A is the input. The value of the variable way does not change here. So A is a independent. For example, write C equals to A plus plus. A plus plus. Now here the independent value, this input variable, was changed after the execution of this instruction. An input variable is process dependent if its value changes as a result of processing. Okay, so input variable is process dependent. So here the C equals to A plus plus, it is process dependent. A plus plus, if this statement is executed, for example, A equals to 1. Now C equals to A means C equals to 1, and C equals to A plus plus means C equals to 1, and after completion of this process, automatically the value of the A will be incremented by 1. So 2. Now the value of the A will change after completion of this instruction C equals to A plus plus. So the input variable is process dependent if its value changes as a result of processing. A predicate is process dependent if its truth value can change as a result of processing. So what it means, here the input value is process dependent if its value changes as a result of processing. That means so C equals to A plus plus. C equals to A plus plus. Now if I am write the instruction like this, if A plus plus, so I'm taking A equals to 0. If A plus plus or plus plus A, now the if plus plus A and A equals to 0. Now if plus plus A means the value of A is incremented by 1, so the false become as true. Here a predicate is a process dependent. Here the predicate, so this is based on this process. What is the process here? Plus plus A is the process. If it is, its truth value can change as a result of processing. So before this process, the value of A is false. After processing plus plus A, the value of A becomes true. So these type of predicates were called as a process dependent. A predicate is process independent if its truth value does not change as a result of processing. Right? If A, now in this case, it is independent. Normally, so these process dependencies are occurred because of equals to symbol and plus plus and pre-increment and pre-decrement operators. Okay, because of these operators are equals to asterisk, equals to minus, equals to plus. So for this only the values in the variables will be changed. If the process contains any of these operators, then there are dependents. So process dependence of a predicate does not follow from process dependence of variables. So for example, so what it means, so process dependence of predicate so does not follow from process dependence of variables. So here x plus y equals to 10. So increment x and decrement y, then also the value is 10 only. So x is odd, add an even number to x, then also x is odd. So for example, so 5 plus 5 equals to 10, or you take, say, 8 plus 2 equals to 10. Now increment x value, that means 9. So decrement y value, that is 1, then also 10. That means the process dependence of a predicate does not follow from process dependence of variables. And similarly, so x is odd. For example, x is odd, x equals to 11. Add an even to number to x. For example, x equals to 6. X equals to x plus 6. Now, so 11 plus 6, 17. Then also the value of the x is odd number only. Okay. Next, if all the input variables on which a predicate is based are process independent, then the predicate is process independent. If all the input variables are process independent, that means the values of the variables does not depend on the process, then predicates is process independent. So next one, correlation. So correlation is, so two input variables are correlated if every combination of their values cannot be specified independently. So correlation means you take any two variables. So for example, x and y. Two input variables are correlated. These are the correlated if every combination of their values cannot be specified independent. So if these variables in the process, if the combination of their values so cannot be specified independently, if they are dependent, that means, so for example, x equals to 10 and y equals to 5. Okay. If every combination of their values so cannot be specified independently, for example, so at some time you call x plus plus or y minus minus, these values will be changed. So now, so these are, so x equals to x plus y or y equals to y plus x. If you take these type of instructions, so these are correlated if every combination of their values cannot be specified independently. So variables whose values can be specified independently without restrictions are uncorrelated. If it is it does not have any combination, so then we call as a uncorrelated. A pair of predicates whose outcomes depends on one or more variables in common are correlated predicates. So here x equals to x plus y. So y equals to y plus x. So every path through a routine is achievable only if all predicates in that routine are uncorrelated. So every path through a routine is achievable only if all predicates in that routine are uncorrelated. What it means? So if there is some predicates, if all predicates, all these predicates, for example, there are three predicates, so three decisions. If path through a routine is achievable only if all predicates in that routine are uncorrelated. If this predicate does not depends on these two, so then we call as a these predicates as a uncorrelated. If a routine has a loop, then at least one decision predicate must be process dependent, otherwise there is an input value which the routine loops indefinitely. So what it means, if a routine has a loop, for example, you are writing a loop in your program, then at least one decision predicate must be process dependent, otherwise there is an input value which the routine loops indefinitely. So for example, I equals to 1, I less than 5, I'm going to execute some process block. Now, if I value does not change, if I value is independent, then so always the value of the I is 1 only. So that means always it is true, and we are going to execute this process block. If a routine has a loop, then at least one decision predicate must be process dependent. Otherwise, there is an input value which the routine loops indefinitely. Next, path predicate expression. Every selected path leads to an associated Boolean expression called path predicate expression. So for example, so this is the node A, node B. Here there is a condition. So this is the node C. If it is true, if it is false, so this is the node D. Let us assume like that. Okay. So every selected path leads to an associated Boolean expressions called path predicate expressions, which characterizes the input values that will cause that path to be traversed. So for example, I want to traverse from A to D, A to D. So now, so A to B, and next you are going to predicate. If it is false, then only go to D. If it is false, then only the path execute this D. And if you want to execute the C block, then A, B, and the decision is true, then you are going to execute this C. So every selected path, that means here the path is ABC. Every selected path leads to an associated Boolean expression. So ABC path associated with the Boolean expression, here the Boolean expression is true. So called path predicate expression. If you want to execute ABC, the path predicate will be true. So which characterizes the input values that will cause that path to be traversed. Here the true, so makes the path from B to C. Select an entry exit path. So write down uninterrupted predicates for the decisions along the path. If there are iterations, note also the value of loop control variables for that pass. So converting these into predicates that contain only input variables, we get a set of Boolean expressions called path predicate expression. So examples here, so this is the x5. So input being numerical values here. Here, so x5 greater than 0. So this is the OR operation. So x6 so less than 0. Then you are going to evaluate this process block. x1 plus 3x2 so plus 17 greater than 0. x3 equals to 17. x4 minus x1 greater than or equals to 14x2. Here, there is OR operation. So one is one expression, one predicate expression is x5 greater than 0. Another predicate expression is x6 less than 0. Then you are going to evaluate this process block. Here, if you observe that A, B, C, D. So this is the path A, B, C, D. If x5 greater than 0, then you are going to execute all these instructions. Or x6 is less than 0, then also you are going to execute these three instructions. So this is the A, B, C, D. So these are the A, B, C, D. And E, F, G, H. So this is one predicate. This is another predicate. For these two predicates, we have same instructions. So x1 plus 3x2 plus 17 greater than or equals to 0. x3 equals to 17. x4 minus x1 greater than or equals to 14 x2. So converting into the predicate expression form. So this is the expression you are going to write A B C D plus EB E B C D. So that means FGH and BCD both are the same. That equals to A plus E and BCD. If you take the alternative path for the expression D, then you are going to write so A plus C and BCD. Next one, so predicate coverage. So predicate coverage. So look at examples and possibility of bugs. So this is the ABCD, A plus B plus C plus D. So due to semantics of the evaluation of logic expressions in the language, the entire expression may not be always evaluated. So what it means? So for example, if you are using AND operation, so A and B and A or B. So this is the expression A, this is the expression B, and we combine these two expressions with AND operator, logical AND operator. So first you are going to evaluate the A value. If the A value is true, then you are going to evaluate B. For example, the value of the A becomes false, then automatically it does not evaluate second predicate. Okay. Similarly, A or B, if the first A becomes true, then the second predicate does not evaluate it. So due to semantics of the evaluation of logic expressions in the language, the entire expression may not be always evaluated. If the A is true, then we cannot evaluate the entire expression. If A is false, then only we evaluate the B expression. I hope you all are know about this in your logical operators. A bug may not be detected. A wrong path may be taken if there is a bug. So realize that on our achieving C2, that means all the test cases, the program could still hide some control flow bugs. So predicate coverage. If all possible combinations of truth values corresponding to selected path have been explored under some test, we say predicate coverage has been achieved. Stronger than branch coverage. If all possible combinations of all predicates under all interpretations are covered, we have the equivalent of total path testing. So testing blindness. So coming to the right path, even through a wrong decisions at predicate. So due to the interaction of some statements makes a buggy predicate work, and the bug is not detected by the selected input values. And calculating wrong number of tests as a predicate by ignoring the number of paths to arrive at it. So cannot be detected by path testing and need other strategies. So this we are called as a testing blindness. Testing blindness. So coming to the right path, and sometimes you are going to take some wrong decisions that due to interaction of some statements make buggy predicate work, and the bug is not detected by the selected input values, and calculating the wrong number of tests at a predicate. So test blindness. So assignment blinding. A buggy predicate seems to work correctly as the specific value chosen in an assignment statement works with both or correct and buggy predicate. So here x equals to 7. If y greater than 0, then. So buggy x equals to 7 if x plus y greater than 0. Here the x value is 0. Check for y equals to 1 here. So this is the bug. So equality binding. When the path selecting by the prior predicate, the results in value that works both for the correct and bug predicate. So correct, if y equals to 2, then if x plus y greater than 3, then If x equals to 2, then x greater than y. Here check for an x equals to 1. Self-blinding. So when a bug, so predicates is a multiple of correct one and the result is indistinguishable along that path. So x is a, if x minus 1 greater than 0, and bug is, so x equals to a if x plus a minus 2 greater than 0. Check for the values of x and a. So this we are called as a testing blindness. So assignment blinding, equality blinding, and self achievable paths. So objectives is to select and test just enough paths to achieve a satisfactory notation of test completeness such as C1 plus C2. So C1 is nothing but trace all the statements in the software, and C2 is nothing but so trace all the statements along with the all test cases. Extract the program's control flow graph and select a set of tentative covering paths. For a path in that set, interpret the predicates. So trace the path through multiplying the individual component predicates to achieve a Boolean expression. Example, this is the example, a plus bc and d plus c. Already discussed about this. So multiply, obtain sum of products, form the path predicate expression, ad plus ae plus bcd plus bc. These are the paths, a, d. So this is the path, ae and bcd and bc. Each product term denotes a set of inequalities that if solved will yield an input vector that will drive the routine along the selected path. A set of input values for that path is found when any of the inequality sets involved. The solution found equals to path is achievable. Otherwise, the path is unachievable. So next class we discuss about path sensitization. So this is about today class. So thank you all. So we meet in tomorrow class.